Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Ridley Athletic Complex here at Loyola University for this afternoon's MIAA C Conference Championship matchup between the Key School and the Friends School. Up here, I am George Schaefer, joined by commentator Reed O'Connor, and we're delighted to bring you this afternoon's action. Reed, what can we expect tonight?
Yeah, well, so George, we talked to the coaches earlier on the field, and what we learned was Key School, this is their second year in a row in the championship game. They won last year, so they are the reigning MIAA C Conference champions, right? So Friends is looking to upset them in that victory. Now, Key School, they caught the injury bug earlier in the season, right? They struggled. They were the 5th seed coming into the playoffs, but now they are in the championship. And Friends School, they have a first-year head coach. No one expected them to be here, but they are now. This is going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, well, both teams have now taken the field and are getting ready to start, so we can show you that now. We have the Key School and the Friends School. Key School in their white uniforms on blue pants. The Friends School in their all black uniforms as we get ready to bring you today's action.
Number 16, Max Keller. And number 22, Samir Ibrahim.
So we'll take a look at both teams' starting lineups today. And Reed, this is the Key School.
Yeah, so when we look at Key School, we have a couple key players, right, that we look at. And, you know, a lot of these players, as we talked about earlier, they caught the injury bug, right? A lot of their players were out for the season. So a lot of these players on the starting lineup were not starting at the beginning of the season, but their coach said that they've all developed incredibly, and they're ready for this championship game.
Two players to look out for are number 20 and number 21, Ben and Dan Harcourt. They are both brothers. Dan is a senior, and Ben is a sophomore. Dan plays as a forward, Ben playing as a defender. Now we'll take a quick look at Friends School's starting lineup. So both teams now taking the field. We are just moments away from beginning. And Reed, you know, we saw that Friends are a team that really like to control the ball. They are a possession-heavy team. So our Key School head coach telling us that really the key for them is to be counterattacking, be really quick on the ball.
Yeah, so they did match once earlier this season. It ended in a draw, 0-0. No goals were scored, but the coach from the Key School said that they've had 4 goal scorers through the playoffs so far, and now in the championship game, they're not looking at that one player for the score. They know that their entire offensive attack can get it done.
So just seconds away from kickoff at the MIAA C Conference Championships. Reed, we are just about 80 minutes away from determining our first champion of the day.
Yeah, and I'm glad you emphasized that of the day, George, because we have 3 games going on today. I'm not sure what the B Conference Championship matchup is, but that A Conference matchup, that's where you'll be able to view your Loyola Dons as they face up against McDonough.
So Key School kicking away, Friends School, and it was Max Keller, the forward, who was getting us started. So yes, we are 80 minutes away from crowning our first champion of the night. We have Boys Latin and St. Paul's coming after this on St. Paul Sports Network, and then Legendary Sports Group will be providing coverage as the Loyola Dons are looking to three-peat the MIAA A Conference versus McDonough.
Yeah, and if you're a Dons fan watching this broadcast, you know how good that team is when it comes to the MIAA A Conference.
So we have our first throw-in of the day. It's Gavin George, the junior midfielder, who will take it.
Yeah, and again, when we talked to Key School's coach, they told us that those set pieces were important when it comes to the throw-ins and the corner kicks.
Yeah, set pieces are really important for them since that's kind of that's their main source of attack so far since, they will be dominating possession, but working the ball into the box, that's really not enough for them. Key School is a very resilient team. They've not been a team that everyone was really expecting to make it this far, but the Friends head coach said he's absolutely not surprised given the way they played against them last time, holding them to a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, Georgia, they're kind of just knocking the ball around right now. Key School's on defense. They can't seem to make it past that midfield mark until now.
Yeah, and that kind of speaks to the possession capabilities of this Friends School side. You know, it's going to be hard for Key to get the ball into that final third as they're being pressed really heavily.
Yeah, I agree. You can already see the speed from Friends and just the feistiness when it comes to the attack
Yeah,
or the
especially there
defense.
from number 11. That's Kadir Aslam, who is playing as one of the two strikers, him and Max Keller alike, as Keller is going to press hard here, trying to win that ball back from number 22, Jeffrey Mullen, the senior of Key School, and it will go out for a key throw. So Reed, any thoughts? First maybe 2 minutes of the game?
Well, I mean, as I've already said, as that was a close shave there. If it was a better pass, could have had an attempt on the goal. But as we've seen already, and as we've said, the Friends School, we can already see the speed from them. You know, the way they play the game is just different than Key. And that makes for a good matchup because these two different programs that play the game differently matching up against each other.
Yeah, as Aslam did well there to win the final third. It will be a Friends throw, and that will be taken by Caleb Kessler, number 6.
Yeah, that was a good defensive job there from Jack Morin, the senior.
Yeah, Friends pressing really high up. They only have 2 defenders back there as they send both of their fullbacks really high up the pitch, which is kind of modern-day soccer tactics. So Islam tries to play it in the middle, and Key does well to win the ball away. They're going to try a little fast break here. Unable to do so as that went off the head of Davis Chapman, the senior from Key.
Yeah, there's Morin again trying to get it in. You could see the neon band around his arm,
Yes.
signifying his captaincy.
Samir Ibrahim played that one into Aslam, and it's a nice tackle there from number 12 of the Key School. That is John Fisher, the senior midfielder. Aslam trying to make a play into the box for Kessler and unable to do so as this is going to go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and a brisk day here out inside the city limits. As you can see, some of the players wearing long sleeves, even gloves.
Yeah, it's a little throughout the day, so these next 2 games coming after this are going to get pretty chilly, especially that final one at 5:30. Key School looking to go back-to-back here, Reed. A lot of people didn't think that this was a position they were going to be in.
Yeah, and we've said that already. They had injuries, and you know the 5 seed in the MIAA conference playoffs. Nobody expects them to get into the championship. You know, you expect to see the 1 seed, the 2 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed even. You know, but not really the 5 seed. They're kind of like, oh, we made the playoffs, and that's an accomplishment in its own right. But I mean, here they are.
Yeah, that was absolutely not the mindset of Key School at all. Head coach Jake Rainey telling us, you know, they knew that this was their capability, you know, and I feel like a saying we've echoed through multiple different sports over the season is as long as you play mistake-free, you know, any team can be as good as anyone else.
Yeah, that seems to be our LSN motto when it comes to mistake-free play.
Friends doing a good job to control that key press, and they're trying to box him in. That was Kessler, unable to do so as Friends are going to have a little counterattack here. Nicholas Zapata plays it into Kessler, and they're going to whistle it back. I believe that may have been offsides. I did not see. I think they're just going to call it a foul.
Yeah, Key School had the numbers there, so an unlikely attack for Friends. And you know, George, I do have a little bit of insider information when it comes to the A Conference game. If you are attending as a Dons fan, as a student, I've been told that the theme is Deep Blue Sea. So if you want to come in theme, that's what it is.
Yeah, so today it looks like the theme for the Friends School is blackout, And I don't think Key School has a theme, Reed.
Yeah, you know, Key School, they are based out of Annapolis, so I can't imagine there's many fans for them here today.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get up here for these games. They used to be held at UMBC. It would have been a little bit easier for them maybe then. But then when you think about the amount of the big crowd that's going to be here for that A conference game, and they're all pretty relatively close. Owings Mills and Towson, Maryland, close here. As Keller able to keep this in bounds. No, he is not. He boots this one way over and near that parking lot.
Yeah, and as it rolls down the side of that spray-painted Loyola logo over there.
So it's the second goal kick for Key this afternoon. Zapata boots that one away, and he has Keller inside, trying to cut in, and he has room. It's a nice goal line clearance there from John Fisher yet again.
And we're starting to see that theme when it comes to Key on defense. They just like to boot the ball out of bounds, you know, when things get risky. That's the second one that's gone over the fence in under a minute.
Corner swung in by Aslam. And, oh, nearly there for Zapata. Sent it just past that far post. And they're going to regret that one later when, if Key School is able to capitalize.
Yet another set piece for Key.
And this is a poor one, driven low, and possession is regained quickly. Played into Jacob Bato. Low driven ball swung in, and Friends School showing how they dominate possession as Key are going to try and have a counterattack of their own. Missed tackle. That could have been quite reckless there. Chance is still alive, but it was nice defending there by Gavin George.
Yeah, that was a nice transition game there from Friends. Their attack kind of got caught up over there by the sideline.
Yeah, foul will be called by Ashish Chetri, the senior midfielder, as he pushed in the back.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate mistake. George, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is direct.
It should be direct free kick.
So we'll see if he tries to go for goal here.
It's really far.
It is.
I'm not sure if this has the distance, Reed. Jeffrey Mullen is having this one. Just lofts it above the goal. See if anything can come from this, and no, not be, as he was trying to find number 10, Anthony Aguilar, the sophomore, and was unable to do so. Wyatt Krishup will take the throw. Going to give it to Amari Moore instead, and we've seen Moore flying down that left wing. And he's been a big part of that counterattack for the Key School.
Yeah, George, I was watching that throw, and his foot might have been over the line.
Yeah, we were just seeing that. He may have been over that left line as this one is played in, kept alive.
The officials did not see it.
No, I don't think they did. It was kind of hard. The linesman was down by the corner as this one is won back by the Key School just outside the box. Friends will boot it away, however.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It got caught up there on the captain's foot. Allowed for a nice defensive readjustment by Friends.
Yeah, so we're 10 minutes of our 80 minutes of C Conference Championship action, and it's been kind of a slow game. Neither team has had too many clear-cut chances other than that Zapata missed header inside the box earlier. But, Reed, we do have a foul here, and Friends are going to try again to retain possession in their opponent's final third.
Yeah, and they're going to give it their best shot. Just across that midfield line for Friends.
So what will not happen today, Reed, is another 0-0 draw, as Zapata couldn't get there in time. But good thing for us is it will go into extra time, and then after that, penalty shootout. So we're going to have at least some sort of excitement here this afternoon.
That is the advantage of a championship game, George. And those penalty shootouts, when it gets down to the wire that close, that's when the student section and the fans start to get wild.
Yeah, and Friends was kind of having to pull out some stops there. Anthony Aguilar playing that back. Sorry, that was actually Key School having to pull out some last-ditch defending. And, you know, it's been kind of difficult for them to get the ball passed into the opposition half. This one is cleared away from the goal line, and it will result in yet another goal kick. As we have two substitutions, it's going to be number 4 and number 7, Joshua Brown and Alex Bubnov, checking in for the Key School, and out come number 21 and number 8. That's Jack Moran and Dan Harcourt, one of the Harcourt brothers, playing for this Key side.
Yeah, so if the set piece was key for the Zags, then they're liking how the game has gone so far. There's been many set pieces so far.
Yeah, interesting fact we learned this morning, the Obazags is what the Key School's full mascot is. They do go by Zags for short, but the word Obazag is actually the word gazebo. A favorable position. For Friends School, that was number 9, Jacob Batho, and it's Aslam now trying to cut inside. Aslam works his way into the box, has one, and nearly off the hands of the keeper and into the back of the net.
Man, that was some techie footwork there from Friends. He had a nice shot. Unfortunately, the keeper was just standing right there. I don't think he had the angle for it, George.
Yeah, and that's Kadir Aslam for Friends School, the sophomore forward who's been playing kind of at the left wing, and that's the first shot on target of tonight's matchup.
Yeah, we've had a couple headers that have gone, you know, awry. That was the first one that, if it had not been saved.
So Samir Ibrahim playing in Aslam again. Aslam trying to work his way inside, back to Ibrahim. Ibrahim now to Zapata. It's Caleb Kessler. Zapata. We're just doing a little tiki-taka here, kind of like Manchester City in the Premier League, and it's how they kind of retain. Like, they're retaining probably about 60 to 70% of possession, which is a really wide margin.
Yeah. And George, when it comes to the Prem, correct me if I'm wrong, you are a Liverpool fan?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely. I'm not a fan of any team in the Prem.
Well, you know, I don't watch much professional soccer, but when the World Cup comes to the United States in 2027, I believe?
2026, it's this summer.
Oh, 2026.
We have a soccer commentator who doesn't know when the World Cup is, everybody. Reed O'Connor.
Well, I tried my best, George.
As Kadir Aslam could not get to that one way over his head. It was Ibrahim who was trying to play him forward again. And we're going to have more substitutions as now coming off for the Key School is Jeffrey Mullen, who did a really good job in fending off that first wave of Friends attack.
Key substitution entering the match, number 5, Alex Neenan.
And it's going to be number 5, Alex Neiman, coming in for the Key School. The senior Alex Neenan defender in what will be his final match as a Zag. Friends doing a really good job to retain possession here.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's going to be his final match, as it is for all those seniors. But not being a part of Key School, we're not very sure about commitments or if anybody is going to college to play to continue their professional career. But
yeah, so Jackson Soliday and Samir Ibrahim, I think, are the two fullbacks, and they both have been coming really high up off of their line. It's kind of what you see in a possession team, as this one bounces favorably for the Key School. However, there will be a whistle down, and Gavin George for Friends will be able to retain possession. It will be a Key School free kick, however.
yeah, so this one much too far.
Alex Bubnov going to take it.
Much too far for the direct approach, should I say.
They have options short and far here.
He could just float it into the gaggle and see if someone can't get ahead on it.
Gaggle, that's a new word. I did not know that that was a word we used.
Well, you know, George, if you spent any time at all in your vocabulary.
Oh, really good chance here for Key, as we do have an injured Zag down.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Hit his head when he went up for that ball. And, you know, we'll take a break, George.
So the injured Zag is fine walking in off the field. That's John Fisher, the senior midfielder. And we have a few substitutions for you. Nicholas White, number 4. And let's see who else. It was Nicholas Braznikov. Got it. 2 Nicholases for the Friends School coming on. Mullen also checks back in for the Key School. Key School trying to make something happen. Their counterattacking has been pretty good so far. As Joshua Brown, the freshman forward, has now checked in, and he's going to help contribute to that effort. Samir Ibrahim plays a through ball, and Aslam is going to get around his man, and he's going to have it in the opposition third. Swings it into the box. Friends School's chances are still alive, as this one's going to be sent to the touchline by Anthony Aguilar for Key School, and it's kept in play.
Yeah, so we've seen that strategy for Key throughout the first 20 minutes of this game, is just try to get the ball out of bounds so they can reset their defense.
Yeah, as Amare Moore was playing that forward. Friends School coming under a little more pressure than they would like, as a tough collision there between number 4, Nicholas White, and Aguilar. Yeah, and Friends are doing a really good job, as you just saw they're pressing high. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what we saw from a lot of these A-conference teams love to really press high, including, you know, both Loyola and McDonough, who will be playing later tonight. They're both really high-pressing teams. Their defense line is almost to, you know, midfield most times, like Friends is now. The Friends is actually past midfield. Corner swung in.
Oh, and it's a goal.
Oh, they're going to call this a goal for the Friends School, as we have our first of the day. It went through the hands of the keeper, and it is 1-0 to the Friends School. We were not expecting that, Reed.
No, we were not. I mean, the keeper jumped up like a wide receiver trying to catch a pass, and then it just slipped through his hands and into the corner of the goal. Unfortunate.
Key School are really going to regret that. They did really well. Oh no, they're going to wave that one off. Yeah, it didn't look like it was a goal.
I don't know, George. I wish I could see the replay.
Counterattack chance alive now for the Key School is, that would have been really unfortunate for them. That's a moment that, if that is a goal and that does count, they would be really regretting that for the rest of the match. If that's how you lose championship game, that would just be really unfortunate.
Well, yeah, no one expected this to be a high-scoring matchup as we see 0-0 their previous time. So one goal could be the finishing blow,
Yeah, so Jack Moran coming back in for this Key School, as well as number 2 junior Jack Littman, the midfielder.
Entering the match, number 2,
Aguilar is going to come off for the first time tonight.
and also returning number 8, Jack Moran. Replacing number 10, Anthony Aguilar.
High
And number 17,
throw in.
Matai Dean.
Chance is still from way outside the box. Did not go. Alex Bubnov had it. A little scrum in the box for Friends, not something they want as a possession-based team. This one will go out for a Friends throw-in. Gavin George will take it.
Yeah, Friends, as you said, possession-based team. They do like to work the ball in the center of the field.
Yeah, so Kadir Aslam will come off. He's had a really good start to the game, a lot of really good chances, and coming in for him is going to be number 13, Braxton Wilner, the senior forward. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of this game being spent inside both teams' final thirds. The transition has been relatively quick for each team, and they've been spending a lot of time in each other's boxes.
Yeah, well, what happens is when they're in transition like that, the other team just tends to either steal it away or kick it out of bounds as they have.
And he wins it back. He's going to get whistled down for a foul, as it was a reckless challenge on number 13, Tommy Donnelly, the senior forward for the Key School. So Friends School going to try and switch sides and press down that right flank, something they weren't really doing whenever Aslam was on the pitch. It was really heavily focused on that left flank with Ibrahim and Aslam. Some nice attacking play here from the Key School. They just do not have the numbers. They really haven't had the numbers in that final third all game, Reed.
Yeah, and when you don't have the numbers consistently like that, you almost have to look at strategy. Switching up your strategy at halftime, and that is something that Key School said they are exceptional at, is that halftime strategy adjustment.
Yeah, Jake Rainey said that his claim to fame is that they're so good at adjusting at halftime that they're a completely...
Yeah, well, just 16 minutes until then. Still wondering what Rainey might say to his players after this first half.
Yeah, he probably has a few thoughts. But you see, the problem for them is you get the ball into the opposing final third, you don't have numbers, so you decide to play it back. But Friends is such a hard-pressing team and that loves to possess the ball that they're clean.
And Friends simply has more speed than them. Like, you look at the transition game just now, Friends caught up to the men running with the ball.
Really quickly.
Extremely quickly.
So 15 minutes to go, and we have yet to see a score. We had a few good chances down at the Friends goal coming off of two different set pieces. Neither of them resulted in the opener, however. Key School did have an opposing third coming off of a free kick, and it resulted in a tough collision between that goalie.
Yeah.
Mullins' pass inaccurate. Key School trying to work it into the box. Islam wasn't paying attention, and they're asking for a penalty, not going to get it. as Islam came charging into Tommy Donnelly.
Man, that would have been an exceptional chance if it weren't for the tackle.
Yeah, and Ibrahim, sorry, not Islam, got a little revenge there for that tough tackle that Donnelly put on him. Some really good pressing here from Friends. And it was Nicholas Braznikov who was down there, as we're going to have some substitutions. Ibrahim is going to come off, and coming back into the game is Jacob Batho for Friends. Number 2, Ashish Chetri is going to come off as well.
Friends substitutions.
See, Lincoln Holmes is in there filling in for Ibrahim.
Number 12, Lincoln Holmes. Coming off, number 2, Ashish Chetri. And number 22, Samir Ibrahim.
Braxton Wilner wasn't able to retain possession there, as Key School really trying to win that ball back, and they're going to win a throw. It's Donnelly. They're going to reverse this decision. We'll take it.
Yeah, George, they did reverse the decision because number 4, White, kind of guided the ball out of bounds but never touched it, winning the possession for Friends.
Kessler calling for the ball. Donnelly pressing him hard. They're going to switch play. They have Holmes and Kessler unable to get a touch, and it rolls out of bounds. It's a pretty rough-looking mistake there.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was widely noticed by the crowd, but I saw it for sure.
And this one should be a very clear foul, as it was a reckless challenge there by Sebastian Eggington, the freshman. And he could be facing some sort of disciplinary action because he didn't even go for the ball. It was just a clear, he turned right around and laid his shoulder into Donnelly.
Yeah, George, I don't know if that one is as much of a challenge as it is just plain assault.
So it'll be a free kick from just outside the box, and it's just like a mini corner, although in a more favorable position here. So
yeah, he could take this one direct.
Yeah, Alex Bubnov is going to take it. It's a really tight angle. I wouldn't suggest it.
Well, if he could put some spin on the ball, George, who knows?
Floated into the box and cleared away. Key School going to keep this one alive. Trying to make anything work as Donnelly puts his cleat into Caleb Kessler and just chops him down there. No foul because it was absolutely not intended. As we're going to have some Key School substitutions. Number 3, Scotty Bain, the freshman, will come in, as well as number 12, John Fisher, coming back in. Really tight window for him to get it into the box as that key defender was closing down on him. That was number 22, Jeffrey Mullen, who's back in the game. Friends are going to continue to press here. That goalie has been pretty busy in the box. So Nicholas Zapata, one of the captains, is back in the game, and he was a source of a lot of good transition soccer for Friends School before he was taken out. Friends School trying to control the ball, not having a lot of time to do what they want. Holmes tries to play this one.
Yeah, George, and Friends is playing 3 defenders back now. They were just playing 2 earlier in the match.
Well, it's 2 center backs and 2 other fullbacks, like the left and the right back, who come pressing all the way forward, and then on defense they come back and play pretty far back. As Braznikov is going to be taken out of this game.
Friends substitutions. Entering the match, number 7, Elliot DeFilippis.
In favor of Elliot DeFilippis, who we have as a defender here, and he is playing in the attack. Holmes open. See if Kessler can play it to him. Didn't look that way, as Zapata is going to control it in the midfield, try and switch play.
Yeah, and that little maneuver there he attracted Bain to him, stuck the defender, and then passed it off to the close side of the field there from Friends.
Braxton Wilner, the senior, playing at the number 9 now for the Quakers. Zapata able to regain this off of the goal kick. And we're going to have another Key School substitution. It's Anthony Aguilar coming back into the game, a name that we heard a little bit. Coming in for Zach Littman, the junior midfielder. Aguilar played well in the defense.
Key School substitution. Coming on number 10, Anthony Aguilar. Replacing number 2, Zach Littman.
Yeah, just 8 minutes left to play in this first half. Still no score. Have had a few close calls for both sides.
Oh, this one falls favorably for the Key School. Working in into the box, and this one just a little too far for Donnelly to reach. It was swung in by Scotty Bain, the freshman.
Thought Bain had a chance there, but he lost his angle, tried to cross it. It was just too far.
Bain could have cut inside maybe and had a shot, but this Friends defense really tough.
Yeah, and you also have to consider the size difference, George, between a freshman and a senior defender.
This one's one back for the Friends, going the other way, trying to swing it in. And just last second clearance there. Chance still alive. Zapata takes a heavy touch. Ben White falling on it.
Yeah, and speaking of
Sorry,
touch,
Nicholas White.
Speaking of touch there for Friends, I mean, that was a great chance. Managed to get it right through the legs of the Key School defender.
Got him confused with Ben White of Arsenal, Reed. For the Key School in a favorable spot. It's going to be number 5, Alex Neenan, as Ashish Chetri returns to the game. Still have yet to see Kadir Aslam come back in, although it looks like he's actually hopping up to the midfield line right now, as Aslam was a really reliable source of attack for the Quakers.
Yeah, the Quakers. Is that the Friends School mascot, George?
That is. It's the Quakers because they were founded by the Quakers.
That's an interesting little tidbit.
And actually, their school is really close to here. This is the athletic campus, but the actual Loyola University campus is right across the street from Friends School.
Interesting.
So Friends not having to travel far at all.
Is
Key
that
School, however, did have to travel up from Annapolis. Yeah, Friends School is. As Aslam comes back in place of number 13, Braxton Wilner, who did a good job on the press. And they're going to be happy to have Aslam back. A few players coming off for the Key School. Joshua Brown, the freshman, who was doing a really good job earlier in the press. And also Captain Jack Moran, the senior midfielder, coming off for the second time today. He's been taken off, as we are now 5 minutes away from the halftime break and still no score. It's been kind of a slow game here, Reed.
Yeah, and Moran, definitely, we could see he's an exceptional player just by his captaincy, so I think they want to keep his legs fresh for the second half.
Kessler, he's been a busy guy back there. He's looking to play into Holmes. Pass is intercepted. It really was not a good pass. Kessler does well to redeem himself and win the ball. He's looking for Aslam in the run. Aslam trying to outpace the fullback. And takes him down just outside the box, but they're going to give it to him for a corner kick. He was working on Alex Neenan, the senior.
Yeah, celebration from the Friends student section, and now a chance for them.
Yeah, Neenan just came back into the game for the Key School as a substitution for Key. It's going to be Scotty Bain coming out, and Amare Moore coming back in. He was one of those quick players that we were talking about for Key that kind of gave the game a little more life.
Choose to play it short here.
Coming on number 22, Samir Ibrahim.
Punched away by the goalkeeper. Chance still alive. Ibrahim back into the game. Zapato tried a bicycle kick and over the bar for a goal kick.
Coming off number 3, Scotty Bain.
Yeah, Ibrahim is a name that they're going to be glad to have back in the game, as Kessler was having a workload off of him in the transition to Islam. Try and see if they can get a goal before the halftime break. It'd be really good for them to go in, either side actually, it'd be really good for them to go up 1-0. This is a failed clearance attempt. Islam trying to work it back, and it'll be picked up by the Key School goalie. That's Teo Lapointe. Teo Lapointe.
Yeah, he'll choose to punt this way himself instead of just rolling it.
Not every day you see a goalkeeper in sweats, but it is kind of chilly here.
Yeah, they usually like to be more nimble, George, because, you know, they have to dive out for those
That is true.
far shots.
Probably could help for that turf burn, though, when you're diving. I don't know.
I agree. You know, I used to be a keeper back in middle school.
So did I, by the way. Islam working on the opposite flank, swings it in, nobody's there to receive it. Chance still alive, and I think they're going to say that it touched the hand of the Friends School attacker there.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate they got him for a handball, though unintentional. Gives up their possession.
As long as it interferes with play in some way, and it was Elliot DeFlippis, who's up there working alongside Islam. Zapata wins it back. Friend student section trying to get involved, help out their guys on the field.
Yeah, that was a risky tackle.
Yeah, it's going to be, I believe, a yellow card there.
Yeah, I know, George. I mean, you were looking away, so I'm not quite sure if you saw the tackle, but he took him down hard.
Yeah, it was number 9, Jacob Batho, who did it.
Friend substitution coming on number 18.
And
Nicholas Bresnikov.
unfortunate with just a minute 50 left to play.
So in the MIAA, you have a yellow card for a given amount of time. So we will see a substitution here as Nicholas Bresnikov is back into the game. Bresnikov did well when he was in earlier, playing in the midfield. Free kick swung in. Aguilar tried to steer it towards the goal. Friends goalie able to keep it away. And it's number 0, William Clark, the junior, who is in the net. This one played in favorably. Islam is running. Islam cuts inside, still alive. And Key School does really well there to defend. It was Islam and number 7, Elliot DeFlippis, the freshman, who were trying to go up 1-0. They were a minute away from the halftime buzzer. As if you can see in the background, actually, the St. Paul's team has just arrived in preparation for that B Conference championship game.
Yeah, the games do happen in quite quick succession, one after another.
Islam tries to flick it forward and unable to do so.
George, I believe we had to talk about something. Was it tickets for Turkey Bowl tickets?
Oh yeah, Turkey Bowl tickets. If you are interested, as you may know, Loyola Blakefield and Calvert Hall will face each other every Thanksgiving morning in the Turkey Bowl. It's the oldest rivalry between any two high schools in the United States of America, fun fact. You can get tickets on Ticketmaster Thanksgiving morning at 10 a.m. at John Unitas Stadium in Towson, Maryland.
It's going to be quite the matchup.
One last corner attempt, swung in and collected by the goalkeeper. That will be the final chance of this first half. As time expires, 0-0 is the score between Key School and the Friends School. Reed, thoughts on the first half?
Well, you know, George, we've seen this before. You know, these two teams, 0-0, two competitive teams, but a largely defensive matchup. So we'll be back after halftime on Loyola Sports Network.
And we are back. It's the second half of the MIAA Conference Championship between the Key School Zags and the Friends School Quakers. Reed O'Connor, George Schaefer in the booth. Reed, it was a slow start to the first half. What can either team do to make things happen for them in this final?
Score a goal, George.
Well, that's a good point, Reed. Friends School dominated possession. Key School looked threatening at times in the counter attack. You know, head coach for the Key School, Jake Rainey, said his team is the best halftime adjusting team in this conference. And they need an adjustment because they are struggling to keep the Quakers at bay.
Yeah, and I agree, George, but what we've seen so far in this match has been one shot on goal for each team. And it was easily saved by the keeper. And that's one, you know. Nothing has been happening on the offensive side. The defenses have been dominating this game, and I think it's because just of the sheer speed that Friends School has, but then also the techiness that comes from Key School.
So we are just seconds away from getting started. And a lot of what we can talk about is that attacking speed, like you said, from Friends School. They're a faster team. They have, you know, Samir Ibrahim and Kadir Aslam on that left wing, who have just been flying down the flank, pressing really heavy. Key School have their own speedy players as well. They have number 19, Amare Moore. So we're just seconds away from getting off here in the second half of the MIAA Conference Championship, the first of three. And the next 40 minutes will decide the championship. Friends School and Key School. Last time they played, it was 0-0. This time, it will not be 0-0.
Yeah, George, and you know, who knows if this game will be decided in the next 40 minutes. It could go to extra time, penalty kicks, but it will be decided eventually.
As this is a reckless challenge from the Friends School. Flying in there is number 16 for Friends, Max Keller, the senior midfielder, playing a little bit higher up.
Yeah, we've seen a few reckless challenges so far in this matchup. We've had a card or two as well. But in my opinion, this game is going to be won or lost off.
Yeah, Ibrahim trying to find Aslam again. This has been his thing. Aslam pressing far forward as we have a Christmas commercial break coming up on the big screen in the middle of the game, Reed.
As the throw-in is happening.
Well, it's a December to remember at Lexus in the holiday sales event. You can get your Lexus today at Lexus of Towson.
And you know, it's only mid-November.
It is only mid-November. It is not yet a December to remember, Reed.
My favorite part of those commercials is when the wife like walks outside. There's just a huge bow on the car.
Have you seen the SNL skit where the wife walks outside and she's just like completely just mad that he bought the car because she's like, how'd you have all the money to buy this? You
Oh
know?
yeah. I have seen that one.
Completely
actually.
unrealistic, these commercials.
You know, why doesn't somebody do that for me? Why doesn't somebody just buy
I
me a car?
want to walk outside and have a big bow.
With a big bow on a new car. That'd be amazing. Oh, look at this, George. We got another one.
Travel to Ocean City for a December to remember. That's what this one was.
I heard the water's frigid.
Yeah, no reason to go to Ocean City right now. Sorry.
They do make all their money in about 3 months, maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'd say probably a little later than 3 months.
Well, if you call it June, July,
But
August.
I know, but February, no one's going to Ocean City February. It's still way too cold.
What about the December to remember in
Well, that's
Ocean
for
City?
Lexus. That's not for. We've gotten 2 good commercials here, Reed.
You know what? You could drive your Lexus down to Ocean City and have a December to remember.
While watching the MIAA playoff soccer
Yeah, you know what?
championship.
You could turn on LSN. We might be broadcasting a basketball game. You know, the whole family can listen in the car.
My family does that sometimes.
Yeah,
It's great.
I think there's people that I know that do that as well. It could be happening as we speak,
As
George.
we speak, if you're driving in the car, please drive safely. So it'll be a goal kick for the Friends School. Junior William Clark hasn't been too busy today. Key School going to hope to make him, make him move around a little bit. He's been kind of, in my opinion, looking pretty bored back there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be bored in the championship game, but if anybody's bored, it's him.
Yeah.
You know what I just saw that's quite interesting, George?
What?
The officials, they're using Maryland
Yeah,
flags.
Maryland flags. I did notice that a little bit earlier. As we're going to have a foul called here, and it will be on striker for the Friends School, number 16, Max Keller, the senior. He's going to get a little talking to from the referee. He's given out one card so far today, and it was a yellow card on the Friends School.
Lofted in there.
Yeah, they're just going to track this one back to Clark.
Friends School attempting to start the wave in the student section. You think it's reached us yet, George?
No, not yet, Reed.
Give it a couple seconds.
Sebastian Eggington, the defender, has been a little active this half, having to track back a little farther. As here's Islam, a name we heard quite often in the first half, working it forward to Jackson Soliday, unable to retain possession, and it will go out of bounds for a Key School throw.
Yeah, when you say unable to retain possession, you really just mean that he couldn't get the ball before it went out of bounds.
Not even unable to obtain, not retain.
Right.
Yes.
He never had possession.
That was my mistake, Reed.
It's okay, George.
As Ibrahim looking for Aslam, ball falls just a little too far for him to reach, and it's collected and cleared by Wyatt Christop. Nicholas White, number 4 for the Friends School, working on that inside midfield alongside number 2, Ashish Chetri.
And, I feel like a broken record talking about the speed of this Friends team, but as of yet, it's been a sloggingly slow start for them for the second half.
It's been a sloggingly slow start of this match, and we're not even at the start anymore.
We are in the middle,
Yeah,
George.
As we said, that St. Paul's team arrived just before halftime. It looks like the Boys Latin Lakers may have
just pulled up. As you can see, the yellow school bus set up behind the scoreboard there.
So we are about 6 minutes into the second half. And, honestly, if this went to extra time, I wouldn't be mad at all, Reed.
You wouldn't?
Not at all, That's where, it's like forced excitement, because
It is.
there's a guarantee that something happens, and
But-
I'll be ready for it.
But you know what would be even better? If they scored during the regular time, so that the game...
Or like at the very end.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the very last minute.
It is quite frigid out here, George.
Yeah, as you saw earlier, we did not have our jackets on. We do have our jackets on now because it is really windy up here.
Yeah, and the fog is really setting in over the city skyline over yonder.
Oh, you sound like a poet. It's Jacob White trying to work in transition. He has no help in front of him, so he's going to bring it back to Caleb Kessler. Forward pass to Islam is kicked away, and Key School will try a counterattack. They do not have numbers here as Aguilar, it does come charging in. He's in the box now. They're going to try and swing it to him as this one is kept in bounds.
Having trouble finding it in the air.
Amari Moore trying to cut inside the box, and Friends School is too powerful, but he is down and in pain. They will stop play for Amari Moore, and we will step aside. So back after that brief injury break, Amari Moore is on his feet. It looks like he's going to stay in the game. Just walk it off. Took a little bump, probably to his knee, it looked like.
He was holding his ankle, I think. You know what? He'll bravely continue on, George.
Yeah, well, he's a really quick guy, so they are going to, and they need him for the counterattack. It would be a blow to have them not be able to use him this second half. Samir Ibrahim trying to win the ball back in the middle. He's a fullback, so he's well off of his line. Amari Moore trying to get to this one. He slowed up a little bit, trying not to re-hurt himself, as it was Gavin George who was able to get rid of it.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd be scared about that too. Re-injuring himself after he was just down for a second.
As it is Ibrahim trying to cut inside. He has the ball with White. Eggington now. Aslam gets a touch. Aslam with the ball. Trying to cut inside. Plays it in. Keller unable to get there.
Yeah, that was Friends School first attempt. First attempt of this second half.
And there has been no shot on target in this first 10 minutes as Ibrahim wins the ball back, charging forward. He's going to play it forward to Aslam. Aslam swings it into Keller, off his mark as Keller had an opportunity to head it in off of a poor clearance, and we may have a potential penalty here. Friends School begging for that. Ibrahim was shoved down to his face inside the box. Zapata went straight to the referee. He says no foul.
And you know, George, I really want a penalty shot just so we can have, you know,
a goal.
A goal. I would.
Halftime adjustments. Maybe they made some good ones.
Nice sliding interception there from Friends.
Zapata now in the middle. Trying to send forward Nicholas White.
He's directing his fellow players.
Yeah, Zapata, the captain, using his authority. As it's White again. Gavin George. It's Eggington now. George. There's Moore, got a boot to it. And Friends School just really haven't been able to make anything happen here. They have possession, but they haven't been able to venture as farther into the final third as maybe they would like. This one will go out of play for a throw in a favorable spot for Max Keller, and we're going to see a flurry of substitutions here for the Quakers. Looks like Nicholas White will be coming off. Kadir Aslam will be coming off as well. So they're taking off a lot of speed maybe and trying to settle in, maybe be less of a counter-attacking early long ball team and like a work it into the box, be patient. As Braznikov is also in now. Keller floats it forward.
Friends substitutions coming on number 9.
Still alive, shot is on,
Nicholas Braznikov, and number
but off
19,
target.
Reed Miller.
It was Jacob Batho, the senior.
Yeah, he sold that opportunity. The ball floated right in and he just missed it.
Chance is still alive. Ibrahim is being doubled in the corner, trying to win a throw, unable to do so. And charging in there with a nice tackle there is Ashish Chetri. It will be a key throw, though.
Coming off, number 8, Jack Moran. Number 21, Dan Harcourt.
So 26:50 to go in regular time. Kessler now with the throw. See if maybe Key School can steal a quick goal. I feel like if they did, they'd just sit right back on it and kind of park the bus a little bit, Reed.
Yeah, I agree. They'd settle into more of that, defensive approach.
As we have yet another change, Samir Ibrahim will be coming out.
They might
in
switch
place.
up their
Yeah,
formation.
Lincoln Holmes is going to come in, and Holmes does play the same role as Ibrahim, that left back, but he's just not as
Friends
fast.
substitution coming on number 12. Lincoln
Chances
Holmes,
on here, really good
replacing number 22,
clearance
Samir
there
Ibrahim.
from Mullen, actually. Thought he may have been subbed out as Zapata sends that one in just as a...
I think he wanted that
Yeah,
shot on goal stat.
I think he just maybe was trying to register one as... It looks like Mullins maybe took a knock there. It was Jeffrey Mullen, the senior. And the referee is going to ask for him to be subbed off. He will be taken off in place of Wyatt Christop, the senior defender.
Yeah, and that's a big blow for this Key School team. They lose their captain.
So he will be walking off the field now. Clock does stop for these injuries. It's interesting in high school how, well, not only do they count down, but they also, you know, stop a clock. There's no added time.
Friends substitution coming on number 6.
And the games are 10 minutes shorter anyway.
Coming off
80
number
versus
3,
90
Gavin
minutes
George.
of regular time is...
Well, yeah, because the halves are 40 versus the regular 45.
Gavin George is going to come into the game for the Friends School.
But that's not just an anomaly when it comes to soccer. I mean, football's quarters aren't 15 minutes long.
You know, that's fair. As we will have another
Key School
change.
substitutions.
Key School substitution. Sebastian,
Coming in number
no, sorry,
15,
not Sebastian
Ollie
Higginson.
Santon.
Ollie Santon will come in for the
Replacing
first
number 12,
time
John
today,
Fisher.
replacing number
Also
12, John
number
Fisher,
23,
the
Wyatt
senior.
Christop. Replacing number 22,
So we haven't
Jeffrey
seen or heard anything of Ollie Santon, the junior, yet. Midfielder for the Key School. It is his first time in the match, and it's kind of an indicator of how they're trying to change things up here. Bubnov in the game now, too.
Yeah, and change things up for sure because whatever both of these teams are doing, for defense it's working very well, but on the offensive side, not so much.
Oh, this one tipped over the hands of goalie Teo Lapointe. No, sorry, that's Key School's goalie. This one is tipped over William Clark's hands, and that could have been a really costly mistake as it is. Well, they're not going to call it a corner. It should have been a corner.
Not quite sure if the ball was...
Out of play maybe before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's up to the linesman down there, not the referee. Nonetheless, that's not what you want to see if you're the Key School, as this one's played in favorably for Keller. Keller chasing after it. Tries one, and it's just past the post.
Keeper was out of position there. If he put...
Yeah, he came off his line. If you put a little more curve on that, you're right. It would have been 1-0 to Friends. Goal quickly won back there by Ashish Chetri, the midfielder. He's been really all over the place so far today. Really hard free throw there from Kessler. Chetri trying to win it back. Key School trying to make something happen as Zapata will recover the ball. Really nicely done there from Zapata to retain possession, and he plays it back to George. Chetri now trying to play forward. 19 for the Friends School, Reed Miller. First time seeing him on today. Unable to do so. George plays it into Zapata. Zapata's going to send one to Braznikov. Falls favorably, and the Key goalkeeper coming off his line, Teo Lapointe, yet again. So still kind of slow. Maybe it picked up a little bit as Amari Moore trying to charge forward here, unable to do so. This one's played forward to Keller. Keller looking for Brasnikov's help. Plays it in, flicks it on to Brasnikov. Brasnikov! Offsides. No goal for the Friends School, and their student section hasn't registered that yet. Really nicely played there for Friends, just...
Absolutely unfortunate there.
Yeah. If he had just waited a second longer, it still could have been a goal. So very unfortunate for the Friends School. Key School going to try and capitalize off of that crucial error because that would have set them behind pretty poorly.
Yeah, now the game has just slowed down a lot after
Yeah,
that.
really has. Gavin George wins this back. Zapata looking for help. Brasnikov's going to have to come back and win this one. Brasnikov charging forward, flicks it on to Holmes. Holmes back to Brasnikov. Brasnikov doing really well here. Flicks this one onside. It's Keller. Tries to play it in, and it's collected really nice there from LaPointe.
Yeah, that was exceptional work diving out for that.
Yeah,
Dangerous cross.
Friends School's attack does look really revitalized now, and they're looking like a much bigger threat than they had in the first half. That's two really good chances for them, clear-cut chances. Jetri. I think that's Zapata. No, it's Kessler, as this one's played forward to Keller. Keller to Brasnikov, plays it forward. Just a little bit of a heavy touch there from Brasnikov as Lincoln Holmes is going to come win this one back. Holmes plays it in a from behind tackle here. This could be a card for Brasnikov, and he's going to get a yellow. And Brasnikov will have to check out of the game here with 20 minutes to go. We are halfway through the second half. It looks like Aslam will be coming back in. Kadir Aslam, they're going to need him, as well as number 7, Elliot DePhillips. DePhillippus, maybe. I hope I'm getting it right. Brasnikov will come off, and Kadir Aslam will come on, which probably means shortly we'll see Samir Ibrahim.
Friend substitution. Coming on number 11, Kadir Aslam. Coming off number 18, Nicholas Brasnikov. Also coming on for Friends, number
So they're going to take off Keller as well, and that will be who DePhillips will come on for. As they just, thought maybe they needed a change. Janatas Mello is the head coach for the Friends School. You see him greeting his players as they come off, and he's been making changes, especially to the attack, which you don't see a lot, just constant changes to the attack. The work rate has been really heavy for them, though, so they might need some rest. As this one is flicked onto Aslam. Aslam does well to control it, still has possession. Aslam being marked really tightly, and he does really well to flick it back and keep possession. Trying to play it into Chetri, that was Kessler, and he was unable to do so.
Key school substitutions coming on number 9.
And
Francis
Aslam
Williams.
instantly making his mark.
Number 12, John Fisher, and number 16, Scott Sabian. Replacing number 10, Anthony Aguilar. Number 14, Davis Chapman, and number 22, Jeffrey Mullen.
Key School aren't even really going to try to press at all as Eggington boots this one out for a throw, and it really wasn't necessary at all, in my opinion, Reed.
Yeah, I agree with that, George. We've seen that this whole game. Both teams just doing their best to get the ball out of bounds.
Bubnov trying to keep possession. Not going to be the reality for him as Jacob Batho back into the game for Friends makes an instant impact, and he's still working on Bubnov. for Key School. Really nicely played forward here to Scott Sabin. Amare Moore back in the game. They've kind of made a few quick changes. They brought back in Joshua Brown as well. So they have a lot of speedy players in. Still, also, you know what? Cassius Williams. So I think they're taking maybe a slightly more attacking stance here because they have less defenders in for sure and a lot more attacking pieces. Cassius Williams has not been in at all today. There's a good chance there for Key. Not going to happen. See if Friends can make a counterattack. Zapata trying to play it forward, and he's going to have to flick it. See if they can keep this in bounds. Able to do so is Elliot de Phillips. Phillips has Islam. Islam couldn't get it to him. He could have played it in just a little bit earlier, and it could have been that could have been 1-0 to Friends.
Yeah, dangerous cross neutralized there by some nice defense by Key.
So Reed Miller, the sophomore, will take this throw. As we're going to have some more changes. Samir Ibrahim, we said was going to be back in soon. He comes back in for Lincoln Holmes. And on the side of Key School, returning is Jeffrey Mullen. Good that he is okay. He is coming on for Alex Neenan. Bubnov coming off as well.
Coming off number 12, Lincoln Holmes.
Oh, Zapata
Key School substitution.
tried to curl that in from half volley outside the boxes.
Tried to fit it through traffic there. No dice.
And, you know, absolutely they're going to try and rely on Islam and Ibrahim on that left flank. Oh, well over the box, and he's going to be embarrassed to look at that later tonight. Jacob Batho, the senior, in his final game.
Yeah, just 16 minutes left to play.
Yeah.
Still no score for both of these teams to be seen back in the championship next year.
Maybe. I mean, a lot of these young players do look really good. I mean, Islam is only a sophomore. Chetri. It will be a Friends School throw in a good spot. It's Reed Miller again, who will take it. Him and Chetri have been working together pretty nicely. Islam gets ahead to it. Oh, costly mistake there as Lapone was trying to put his hand on it, and his own defender kicked it away from him.
Yeah, just and like I said, we go back to that LSN motto of mistake-free.
Mistake-free. It hasn't been mistake-free from either side so far today.
Not by any means.
Kessler does really nice to stop a counterattack here.
Yeah, nice slide and just kick that ball out of bounds.
Seen a little sunlight coming out from right above us, Reed. Kind of put a...
And you know, I don't know where from, George, because this is some thick fog that we're in right now.
Yeah, it is.
You can't see it on the field.
It's coming from behind us, it looks like.
You can't see it on the field, but the cell towers that are just behind the field are engulfed when you get closer to the top.
Yeah, if you look at those famous weather towers that are always right next to this field. It's Gavin George. Islam. He's been having some really nice ball control. Zapata plays it into Chetri. Zapata! Way wide to the right. And that's the second time he's done that recently, and it's just not been good.
Yeah, you know, George, if we were standing over there by that green tent, we would have known instantly as it came off his foot whether it was good or not. But the angle that we have here on the field, it's hard to tell when it comes to...
Yeah, Friends, it almost looks desperate because they've had some good chances. There's no reason to do that. They have, be that patient, possession-containing team. And you see how high they're pressed up on this goal kick. You know that they're going to want to win this back quickly, as they are able to do so. Aslam really, really determined to win it back, and they're able to. Elliot De Philippe's is absolutely sauced right there, as Philippe's able to win it back, and they're going to call it a foul on Philippe's because he did come in really low there. So 13 minutes to go in regulation. We are almost through regular time, and Friends School, you can tell, are getting impatient. I don't think Key School's getting impatient at all. I think they're willing to let this one go to extra time and longer.
Yeah, you could definitely tell when a team gets impatient.
Yeah, as Ibrahim does well to win the ball. Plays it back to Kessler, who sends it forward to Aslam. Aslam not able to get the ball. Chetri wins it back. De Philippe's here. Zapata. Zapata is going to try and move forward.
Yeah, Zapata himself has been a big part of this second half.
And another desperation move, trying to flick on Ibrahim there. I think he could be a little more patient, as we're going to have 4 Key School substitutions and 2 Friends School substitutions. I'm not even going to try and list all of them, but we do know Aguilar for Key School will come back into the game, as well as Max Keller for Friends. So it'll be Keller and Aslam up front, just like it was at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, and Aguilar will come on for Morin. Definitely want to be putting those fresh legs in.
Gavin George boots this one forward. Keller wins it back, and could have gotten a boot to the face there, because that was really dangerous. Friends School asking for a foul. There was no contact, so there is no foul, as Zapata absolutely takes out Aguilar with a really, really reckless kick. And we already see the yellow card out. Zapata was making a play for the ball, but just completely misfired, and he is gone for the time being. He will come off in favor of Nicholas White. And Zapata, like we said, is getting impatient and just reckless. And it's been he's a good leader, and he's been good at setting the pace, but it's just been detrimental to this Friends attacking effort. Would you agree, Reed?
I agree fully, and that's a big blow to Friends School to lose him.
Just, obviously, even though it's temporarily, you can see his frustration on the touchline, because just absolutely not what they wanted to do.
Right, they definitely didn't want to take him out of the game. He's their guy in the middle. He directs traffic. And when it comes to this game, he's had the majority of the touches for Friends School.
This one swung over and out of play for a Friends School goal kick. It's William Clark. So, if we do end up going to penalties, LaPointe and Clark are going to be a lot busier than they have been so far tonight.
For sure. You know how long the extra time period is?
I believe it's 2 15-minute periods, or maybe, at least in professional soccer, it is 2 15-minute periods.
Before penalties.
And then penalties, but it'd be good to clarify that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the MIAA does, because they don't do anything in the regular season. Regular season just ends in draw.
Well, we'll be able to find out soon enough, because it doesn't look like there's going to be a goal here.
Well, you never know.
This one is cleared away by Nicholas White. Zips it.
Yeah, I was just about to say, just shot it right into the stands.
Yeah, so there for the again. Jackson Soliday here's Nicholas White. Soliday. Way, way too far for Keller to get to.
Yeah, he had just absolutely no chance of that ball. It almost went into the stands like a couple of the other ones have in the past minute or two.
So it's Mullen for the throw. Gavin George wins it back. Keller able to retain, and Chetry couldn't get there in time. Aslam pressing high, so is Keller. They're going to place it forward to Bubnov.
That was a little bit too aggressive there for Friends.
Yes,
there was no way they'd be able to track that ball down as they just switched it from one side to the other.
It could have cost him had Keenat gotten a little bit too aggressive as well, you know. Kind of speak to the fact that both these teams need to be more patient.
Yeah, just under 8 minutes left to play. Still nothing.
Short goal kick, Bubnov recovers and loses it right away to Jacob Batho. Batho playing forward Aslam. Aslam fends off his man, and Samir Ibrahim could have been there to help as Aslam is sent to the ground, right back up on his feet. Once a foul, not going to get it. Here's Chetry pushing forward. He has space. Chetry wins back the ball. Chetry has one, and he had Soliday. Soliday was through on goal if he had played him.
Yeah, instead just tried to take a wild shot himself.
Yeah, and it's speaking to the impatience, the desperation is, it almost worked though. Tail a point. Very nearly dropped that ball and let Keller
just dink it right in.
Yeah, dink it right in as Aslam has the ball now. Could play on Chetry, he does. Chetry looking to get it back to Aslam. Not gonna do so. We're gonna have a few substitutions. Zapata coming back on. He's gonna beckon off Nicholas White, whose time was short. On the other side, Jack Moran coming back on, and he's gonna come back on for Tommy Donnelly. Donnelly, a senior, could be the last time he's on the field for the Key School. We will see.
Coming on number 10, Nicholas Zapata. Coming off number 4, Nicholas White.
Aslam plays it back to Kessler. Chetry tries to head it forward to Keller, unable to do so.
Yeah, and Friends glad to have Zapata back on the field.
Yeah, Batho working on 2 men right now, and yeah, we were about to say he does have Eggington and Gavin George here for help if he wants to play it back. Eggington, just embarrassing.
Unwise.
Yeah, unwise decision. You know, they have runners. They do not need to get this aggressive right now.
And I mean, time is running short.
Yeah, and there will be another substitution here. Both teams trying to prevent tired legs as Wyatt Christop will come off, and Alex Neenan, the senior, will come on.
Coming off number 23, Wyatt Christop.
Zapata back in. Working on Aguilar. Aguilar, some fancy footwork. See if Chetry can win the ball back from Matej Dean. Matej Dean, we haven't actually said his name yet, but he's been a big piece of this midfield for the Key School, as they will have a throw, and it's both teams trying to move fast now. 0-0. Forward to the keeper, LaPointe barely hangs on, and LaPointe has just, it's been a little worrisome if you're the Key School. He's coming in a little late to these balls.
Yeah, and they seem to be slipping through his hands. I'm not sure if something is wrong with his gloves or something like that, but he can't seem to hang on to the ball the first time, you know what I mean?
So we do have a whistle. Zapata having some words with the ref again. And you can see he's getting a little impatient. He's getting a little upset sometimes, but you know, it's composure from here on out. Last game of most of these young men's playing careers, including possibly Nicholas Zapata, who is a senior. Not sure if he's committed. This one is won back by Batho. Kessler now. Gonna let it fall back to him. Kessler, and fends off the press. Kessler doing really nicely here as he flicks it onto Batho. Batho to Aslam. Aslam! cannot finish.
Yeah, it's difficult to finish when your shot just so happens to go right at the keeper.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of a wide angle, but could have had a better finish. Everything was good there. The handling by Batho, the pass into Aslam,
I mean, he had plenty of angle for that
and
shot
he had
for sure.
he had a good enough angle. That is going to cost them. Chetri now. Chetri doing really nice, and he needs to play a better pass there. They had Samir Ibrahim running down. That would have been the second one as Kessler is ever so determined now. Flicks this one onto Ibrahim. Ibrahim would have had Aslam, and it's a nice towering challenge there from the Key School. John Fisher, the senior. And
2 minutes remaining.
Ibrahim. Again, some really good aggression there from Jack Moran. He wants it too. Ibrahim pressing high and sends this one out of play for a Key School throw. We are at regular time, and it's looking like we are going to have 2 10-minute periods of extra time awaiting us. Could be wrong, though. Good chance here for Moran. Moran goes down in the box. And it will go out of play for a Friends School goal kick. Free kicks these goal kicks have yet to make it to midfield, as this is won back by Batho. Batho coming forward. Oh, he would have had Soliday running down that right flank, and they just have not been able to get it out quick enough. Batho's gonna win back the ball over Bubnov. A minute now to go. Aslam charging forward. Aslam wins back the ball. No foul. Plays it in, and Chetri couldn't get there in time. 50 seconds now.
He played it in nicely to the middle, but nobody was there.
Desperation time for both of these teams as Chetri receives it. Mate plays it forward to Joshua Brown. Brown plays it in. William Clark does well to fend off the attack.
Scooped up nicely there.
Davis Chapman. 20 seconds to go. Mate, Brown. Brown working on Soliday. Soliday does well to retain possession as we are now 10 seconds away. Chetri wins the ball back. Could this be one last chance as they're going to send a towering ball forward? Aslam trying to get there. Lapointe gets his hands to it as time expires in regular time. We have not yet crowned a champion. We have not yet seen a single goal read as both teams return to their dugouts. We are all tied up at 0, and we will step aside for a few minutes. 7 seconds to go before the first period of overtime. It's going to be 10 minutes, sudden death victory, as it's the Key School and the Friends School fighting it out at least 20 more minutes. Actually, no, not at least. Could be at least 7 seconds before we see a goal. At most, 20 minutes plus penalties.
Yeah, this death would be sudden for sure, as there has been no score so far.
Yeah, it's been a slow game. You know, Friends School retaining a lot of possession here. The Key School has been counterattacking and haven't been able to make too much happen. They had a little bit of a more revitalized second half. Still nothing much to it. As Davis Chapman will kick it away.
Well, the officials will have some sort of discussion.
Yeah, Dan Harcourt back in the game. He kind of came out early in the first half, and they were like, we didn't see him come back in, but Dan Harcourt back in for the Key School of Annapolis, Maryland. As both teams getting ready to fight it out. One last time, both really senior-heavy squads who have most players who will not be playing another soccer game in their life after this. So Chapman. We'll get ready to kick it away. I think the referees are kind of just like talking over something before we start, but both teams, it's kind of icing them a little bit. You know, if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to stay loose, get ready for this, you know, most important period of my life, I'd be kind of like, come on, let's get this started, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Just having a little convo. See if they can get this started, but if they're not, I mean, we're going to go to a break. I think they're coming down to the sideline to explain things, but this is really confusing here, Reed.
Yeah. And, you know, we'll be back when things pick up a little bit.
All right, the referees are ready. So hopefully we can get this started pretty quickly. Looks like Friends are playing a 3-4-1-2 here. So they've kind of decided to go all out. You know, 3 center backs. You have Salade and Ibrahim playing on the wing, with Zapata and Batho in the middle. You have Chetri playing at the number 10. And then I think they've taken out Keller and decided they've opted with Braznikov up front with Aslam. So no Keller for this first period of overtime, at least, as Braznikov has the ball. Batho looking for Aslam, and it's going to fall to LaPointe.
And something to note, George, the teams did not switch sides for this first overtime period.
Yeah, I think they may be waiting to do that until that second period.
But as it stands right now.
Yeah. Aslam to Ibrahim. Ibrahim plays it in, and it bounces off the defender for a corner kick. Each chance, you know, it's sudden death, Reed. So each chance could be the end of the game. We will not know when that will happen.
Mm-hmm. But if someone scores, there will be no equalization. That will be it.
Chetri is going to take this corner kick. Ibrahim at the near post, swinging it in. Salade couldn't get there. And Chetri is going to chase his own cross, as this one will roll out, and it will go out for a Friends throw to be taken by Caleb Kessler. Kessler will have another throw. As if you're Key School, Reed, you're just going to be patient. Honestly, they wouldn't mind taking this to pens at all. But they are going to try a quick little counterattack here if they can keep it in bounds. Doing well. Played into Chapman. Could it be? Chapman plays it back inside to Moore. Moore has a shot and a really nice block there. Sebastian Egington saves his team's season potentially. And that is really impressive there, Reed.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That was an amazing attack. I thought he was going to shoot the ball, but then he played it back. I don't know about that decision. And then the shot stayed on the turf instead of up in the air.
Big throw in here from Amare Moore. Mullen racing to it. Boritsnikov.
Second time a ball has sailed over the net.
Sorry, Braznikov. I don't know why I said Boritsnikov. That's just not even accurate at all. It will be a goal kick. They're going to play it short. Be careful here. Kessler looking for Ibrahim. Instead, he has Chetri, who's coming down to help in transition. Chetri stays on his feet. Plays it back to Egington. Egington sends this one forward to Soliday. Chetri. Soliday unable to retain possession, was working on Amare Moore. Chetri sends this one forward to Braznikov. Instead, it's Aslam. Aslam is going to cut inside. Tries to cross this one into Braznikov, unable to do so as Soliday will retain possession.
Aslam had to pour on the speed to get to that ball. Nice effort.
Aslam wins this one back. He really wants this one. Chetri's going to have the ball now. Key School doing well. There was Ben Harcourt, brother of Dan. Soliday unable to keep it in. Amare Moore will have the throw. Aguilar. Dean, Matei Dean, who had the ball there, number 17. Again, we weren't talking about him too much. We're already, by the way, halfway through period 1 of overtime. Moran. Harcourt. Ibrahim wins this one back. Zapata sends this one forward. He had Braznikov through.
Yeah, just some confusion down here on the field. From Zapata.
Braznikov almost had that. Gavin George plays it forward to Soliday. Soliday able to bounce off of his man. Soliday sends a towering ball over to Aslam. The point trying to come out. Aslam gets it forward for Braznikov! Oh!
All he had
Will
to do,
we crown a champion?
all he had to do was just put a little bit more zip on that ball, and it was game over. Instead, tried to tap it in, and the defender managed to get back.
John Fisher did so well there, Reed. As they were going to
Fisher.
try again, here's Soliday. Soliday to Braznikov. Braznikov's going to regret that. See if he can keep this one in bounds. No, he can't. And yeah, we'll see here. Mullen is going to take his time because they are looking forward to the break. They are looking forward to penalties. Fisher. Dean. Aguilar. It was a nutmeg there through the legs of Chetri. Chapman flicks it on to Moore. Amare Moore cuts inside, able to retain possession off of Soliday. Here's Aguilar. Chetri comes towering in. Here's Moore.
Man, it's been all friends since the
Yeah, it
since
really
the,
has.
since the
Soliday
break,
and Moore
but-
in a really good battle here. Chetri, the attacking midfielder, coming back to defend him, and Moore unable to make anything happen as Eggington sends this one after the touchline. We're going to have 2 substitutions from Key and 1 from Friends. It's going to be Nicholas White coming in for Chetri, who has been burning a lot of energy. We're going to see Alex Bubnov coming in to the game as well. Aguilar will come off. Yeah, Anthony Aguilar will come off. Could be the last time we see him all game, actually. Amare Moore, Zapata clears this one away. And all of a sudden, Key School could do this. Nicholas White says no.
Key School substitutions number 5.
White cutting inside.
7,
Aslam charging forward. Aslam has room. Cuts inside. He's going to this one across in LaPointe. Dives on it. Every time they go on a run here, just hold your breath.
I thought Aslam was going to be able to get to the edge there, come around and have a nice shot, but his angle got cut off.
Gavin George going to try and make this a throw instead of a corner. Instead, Amare Moore will have it. Soliday trying to win it back from Moore. And it will be a Key School throw-in.
Less than 2 minutes left to play in this first overtime period.
Betho in the game now. Minute to go as Amare Moore came in a little too quickly, and Zapata is going to get another talking to from the referee here. He's not been having a great afternoon, as he is now on the ground, and it looks like he might be a little bit hurt, as the athletic trainer will come onto the field, and we will step aside for 30 seconds. So back after the break, Zapata is going to come off the field. Unfortunate for him, because there's little time for them to do much now. In his place is number 13, Braxton Wilner. So this is really going to come down to the wire. It already has.
George, you know what I like to say? When a game goes into overtime, especially like in the playoffs or in a championship, that just means that the right 2 teams are there. You know, it's a nice matchup. The teams are equally as skilled.
Braxton Wilner tried to send that one forward to Aslam. It's going to be Gavin George who takes the throw in under a minute to go in the first period. This is really getting exciting here. Wilner working on Mullen. Soliday there as well. Gavin George will have it now. Chapman closing in on George, and he can't see him. Here's White. It looks like Brasnikov came out for Wilner, and White came in for Zapata. Moran sends this one forward to Harcourt. Here's Chapman trying to win the ball back. Oh, almost able to do so. 20 seconds to go. This one really getting exciting. It's heating up here. Ibrahim tries to flick one on. And time expires. 10 more minutes. At most, 10 more minutes until we get to penalty shootouts. Before we step aside, Reed, any thoughts on the next period?
Somebody needs to score, George.
That would be a good take there, Reed. So 0-0, both teams looking to claim the crown of the first of 3 championships here on Championship Sunday. Ten more minutes will decide this champ. And they're doing some chanting. They've been louder than the Key School has all game. The Key School hasn't done a single chant, and St. Paul's is kind of doing it for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they're rooting for in this matchup, to be honest, but
I'm not sure either, but
maybe there's some sort of
I'm not sure either, but
maybe there's some sort of
I think they probably feel bad for Key since their students haven't been loud at all.
yeah, maybe there's just some sort of unseen like
Friends school.
St. Paul's friends rivalry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so then you also have Boys Latin. Down there near the Friends side. Wilmer, White. Wilner cuts inside, trying to find Aslam, swings it in. Mullen will regain possession. And again, Key School, I think their goal is to let this one go to pens. In all honesty here, Reed. Amare Moore.
I would love to see some pens.
Yeah, Amare Moore has switched sides now, it looks like. Yeah, a penalty shootout would be great. Ibrahim does well to win this back. Here's Chetri. Back in the game now. Chetri's pass to Wilner. To VAR. Ibrahim working on more. Here comes Batho. Wins the ball back. Batho still doing really well there. And it will go out of play. Aslam. Winning possession is Kadir Aslam, and it does go out for a Key School. No, I think that should be a friend's throw-in, actually. Aslam was walking away for it. We're going to have a few changes. Zapata coming into the game, as well as Keller, who was not on in the first, for Wilner. So Zapata and Keller coming in for Wilner and Nicholas White.
Yeah, so Zapata back on again.
Ibrahim swings this one in. Friend's going to retain possession. Here's Batho.
I'm not going to lie to you,
Soliday.
George. I'm not going to lie to you, George. I thought Zapata's day was done.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
When he got injured over there, I saw him walk, and he went into the locker room.
Yeah, and he is back now. So Keller now with the ball in a favorably looking position. Trying to swing this into Aslam. Aslam sends this one towering over. No composure there. No composure there.
Six minutes left to play, George. Still nothing.
Chetri loses the ball to Bubnov. Aguilar back in the game now. Mullen. Oh, good interception there from Soliday, but Mullen will retain possession.
Yeah, I know what you mean when you say Key is kind of just like waiting for Pems.
Yeah, they're like, do we really got to do all this? Like,
they seem very slow right now. They're playing a lot of guys
Zapata
back.
and Ibrahim was there the whole time. Ibrahim gonna keep it in play.
They must be confident in their shooting skills.
Yeah, hopefully, for them at least.
Had one shot on
And
goal.
this will
all
go
day
out
today.
for a friend. Halfway through the second period, haven't seen really any good chances from anybody all game. I mean, if we're being completely honest, as we have another change here, sophomore for the Friends School, number 19, Reed Miller, will be coming on, and Soliday will be coming off. So he's not a midfielder, really. He's actually a right back.
Friend substitution coming on number
Chetri gonna swing this one in. He tried to pull that near post. Full of points. Unable to do so. Chetri now. Keller. Zapata. Oh, Keller could get onto this. LaPointe sends it. Zapata regains possession. Dean now for the Key School. Chetri. Batho. Batho goes down hard. Good defending there from Key. As Ibrahim wins the ball back from Moore. Really nicely done by Samir Ibrahim. Batho flicks it out to Chetri, pulls it back to Zapata.
He wanted that shot.
Yeah, really did. 3:30 to go. And then we will have a penalty shootout.
A penalty shootout, how is that? Is that 5 for each team? Or
Well, 5 for each team, but if they're still tied after that,
then it's just...
then it's not sudden death penalties, but if I make it and then you miss it,
Then I win.
Then I win.
Yeah, right.
Now, if I make it and then you make it and then I miss it, you have to make it.
Exactly, right. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying, George.
It's complicated. If we get there, we'll help you through it, everybody. towering throw in here. Looking for Aslam, not there. Aslam has been their target man inside the box. Trying for him again. Almost fell to his feet there. Reed Miller was the one that was taking both of those throws. He's in for Soliday. He'll take it again. I mean, honestly, big credit to Key School, who have fended off the Friends School for the past 80 plus minutes, 90 minutes after this 2 minute. So that's a full professional match that they fended off this really powerful Friends attack. What was this one was a weak one from Kessler. That could have resulted in gold for Chapman. Zapata. Aslam swings it in for Betho. Oh. Chet.
Where they wanted on the field, and the ball was going awry, you know.
Yeah, here's Mate Dean. Swung in for Chapman. Chapman seeing if he could turn around on this. Bato recovers. Aslam spins off of it. Zapata has a runner. It's Aslam. Pass not there. Keller is pressing. Mullen trying to escape him. Keller wins the ball, but it goes out of bounds for a throw.
40 seconds left. And Key School's going to take their time with this throw.
30 seconds left, and yeah, Key School are, well, there's a substitution here, so this one is very much likely going to penalties, as there are 20 seconds, and these guys are just walking off the field, man. Yep, penalties, shootout will be next.
Key School substitutions coming on. Number 8, Jack Moran.
In about 10 seconds is what we'll see.
Number 16, Scott Sabian. And number 23, Wyatt Christrom.
Zapata.
Coming off number 4, Joshua Brown.
Reed Miller.
Does he have a last-ditch shot in him or no?
No, they do not. Penalty shootouts, here we come. A champion will be crowned, one of 3 in the next 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Penalty shootouts are here. Neither team struck gold during overtime. Both head coaches out there with their squads now. Our first taker of the afternoon for the Key School will be Ben Harcourt, the sophomore. And it will be William Clark, the junior goalie, to receive his penalty.
Shooting first for Key School, number 20, Ben Harcourt.
1 of 5 attempts for the Key School.
Here's Harcourt. So much pressure on this young man.
Harcourt. Yes. Slots it away into that right corner. William Clark could not guess right. And for the Friends School, their first taker will be none other than number 10, Nicholas Zapata, the senior. The last time he will kick a ball in this uniform.
Shooting first for Friends, number 10, Nicholas Zapata.
It will be Teo Lapointe, the sophomore goalie. Zapata. Oh, and it's saved! Lapointe comes up huge for the Key School, and this is what they wanted. This is what they planned for, Reed. We have now Alex Neenan,
Number 5, Alex Neenan.
the senior. Clark guessed wrong last time, and it cost his school. What does Neenan have? Neenan, and it's saved!
Two correct guesses in a row for these keepers.
Yeah, so it remains 1-0 to Key School, although
For Friends, number 2, Ashish Chetri.
Chetri is now taking the second. See if he can equalize. Since there have been 2 saves, that would mean through 2 penalties, they'd be all square. So, Ashish Chetri.
The sun came out for this one.
Yeah, right in his eyes, too. Chetri. Oh, he sends it over the bar!
Unfortunate mistake for Chetri.
Oh, no. So through 2 penalties, Key School lead 1-0. And you can see the jubilance on their sideline.
George,
They can't get complacent, Reed.
George, this reminds me, back in middle school, I said I was a keeper, and one of our games went into penalty kicks.
For Key, number 14,
I saved 2 of them, but
Here's Davis Chapman, Reed. I'm just gonna cut you off, Reed.
sorry.
We'll get back to it after this take. Is Davis Chapman. They picked the sunny side as Chapman saved! What more can you ask for this afternoon?
It's just been difficult for these balls to find the back of the net today, George.
Yeah. So, no other than Kadir Aslam. He's been trying all day. Now is his opportunity. It's the third taker.
He needs to equalize here.
Shooting for Friends, number 11, Kadir Aslam.
Aslam needs to equalize here.
Using
Well, he is a lefty, I believe. Aslam steps up. Aslam. Oh! Brilliant there from Kadir Aslam. And he's fired up. Friends School equalize. Next up, Alex Bubnov, the senior. It is 1-1 through 3 penalties.
Alex Bubnov.
Here he is.
Through 3. This is the 4th one.
Key School looking to get back on top.
Bubnov slots it away. Friends School If they miss, they don't lose, but they really need to make this one.
Yeah, the only way they lose is if they miss and then Key School makes the next one.
And it's number 19, Reed Miller, to take this one. I believe, at least. Yes, it is Miller. Reed Miller steps up, sends it over the bar!
All Key School has to do
Is make this last penalty, and it is the captain, number 8, Jack Moran, the senior. His last kick as a Zag can be the only one they need. You make it, you win.
Shooting next for Key, number 8.
to win the championship. Here he is, Moran.
Here it is, Moran. For the title, Moran, yes!
He puts it in.
Back to back, they aren't your friend. Key School win it all. 3-1 in penalties, and just look at the reaction.
Brilliant work from Key School in penalties. George, you said it all along. They knew how they wanted to finish out this game. 9 penalty kicks.
It wasn't looking too great, Reed, and they did it. Look at the reactions, and Friends School are absolutely deflated because they dominated the entire 90 minutes up until this shootout.
You know what, George? Friends School put two of their penalty kicks over the crossbar.
And it's just, you have to be absolutely gutted if you're the Quakers. If you're the Zags, you are exhilarated. Back to back, the Key School get it done in our first of 3 MIAA championships today. From Reed O'Connor, I am George Schaefer. Thank you for tuning in to the Loyola Sports Network. We'll send you to St. Paul's versus Boys Latin.